Um, so, what are the important skills which new mothers need to know? We all know that the feeding position is important, the latch is important. So these are all important. But in my experience, what I feel is the most important thing which new mothers need to pick up in the early days. So I wanted to discuss those things. So I have in my agenda four things. So the first thing is to check for correct latch, because latch is the number one thing we need to learn after the baby arrives. Because once you put the baby on the breast, you want to know that the latch is proper. So the latch, how to check for the latch, is the first thing in my agenda. The second thing in my agenda is how to hold a newborn baby. This is a little tricky thing because we may not have handled a lot of young babies. So it is only with our own children that we may have to begin the practice. So how we can go about, how we can hold the baby, what is the best way to hold, how you can switch from one side to the other, and how to hold the baby for burping. So these are things we are going to see. And another important thing is, as we do the holding, I also want to show you how we can swaddle babies, because many new mothers want the baby to be wrapped nicely so that so they want to be wrapped nicely so that they can hold the baby comfortably. There is something called safe swaddling, means which is hip safe swaddling, which I want to discuss with all of you. So that is what we will do. And then I also want you to know about hand expression of milk. We all know that a lot of breast pumps are available in the market. So these days, many mothers, when they are shopping for the birth, they are also readily buying breast pumps. But breast pump is not a requirement. We are not going to pump the milk and feed to the baby. We want to feed the baby directly. So breast pump is required only for those mothers who have had a either a preterm baby that they are not able to suckle on the breast, or the baby is sick for whatever reason, the baby is not able to suckle directly from the breast on a long term basis. Matlab, maybe for several weeks or days you have to keep expressing the milk and feeding. That is when we need to use a pump. But for all the mothers, for every mother, I would say it is a very, very handy uh, skill to learn how to hand express milk. And we have a wrong notion that hand expression is very painful. So it is not a painful procedure. If you do it correctly, it's a very easy, sometimes a very quick way to express milk, and then you can either feed the baby or you want to store it, whatever. So that is another thing we are going. That is the third thing we are going to discuss. And the fourth skill which we are going to discuss is how we can give expressed milk to the baby. So whatever you have expressed, so we all know that we obviously don't want to use the bottle. So what is the safe method? The small nuances which we need to follow when we have to feed the expressed milk or the formula milk, how you will feed it to the baby. So these are the four skills we are going to discuss. So one is checking the latch, whether the latch is proper. So how do you check for that? Second is how we can hold the newborn baby. And third one is hand expression of milk. And fourth one is how we can feed the expressed breast milk to the baby. Right? So we are going to start with the first skill. So here I have a little baby. Okay. So the first thing is, we want to see how we will hold the baby, right? So the first hold which we all need to know is that whenever we are holding a young baby, newborn baby, young infant, the head should be always higher than the bottoms, right? So we don't want to keep the baby horizontal or head low. No. So the baby has to always be little higher. The head should always be higher so that the baby's food pipe and the stomach, they will be vertical. So chances of milk coming out, spilling out will be less. So this is a right way. Okay, so now when we are holding the baby, so where is it that we need to put our hands? So we need to know how we can hold the baby with two hands. So the moment, this skill, I feel you have to practice in the first 2 or 3 days thoroughly, because the first 2 or 3 days, if it is a vaginal birth, if you didn't have a c-section birth, then you are going to be sitting up, and baby also sleeps a lot. It is little difficult to wake up the baby to feed. So this is a good time where we can practice. So with little handling, the baby may also get up, and it baby is not fussing all the time, that you get enough time to practice. Then it becomes easier for you to follow, the rest of the days. The earlier you practice the holding skills, the better it is going to be for you. Okay, so now when we are holding, how is it that we need to hold? So this hand, my left hand, if I am a right handed person, so I am going to show you how I will use. So the left hand, this portion will work like a bracket. Okay, and the back of the head, this baby is having a cap, and also it's little difficult to see, but if you see this, the base of the skull, from ear to ear, from one ear to other ear. So this is how the hand should be, right? So we don't hold the baby like this. I have seen many parents hold the baby like this, and then this area will not get support. So what we need to do is we have to form a bracket here, and your palm, our palm is bigger, obviously, so it will support the upper back of the baby, right? So this, if you just put your hand here, it forms a bracket, and it allows the baby to turn the head, right? We are not restricting the baby's head movements. We are just keeping it like a bracket where the baby can comfortably rest and stay there. The other hand should be on the baby's bottoms. Okay, so if you are not wrapped the baby, that is absolutely fine. This is a very nice comfortable hold where the baby feels secure. And the other important thing is to put your arm like this. So we don't want to hold the baby like this, right? So this is more protective, so that you can hold the baby close to you. Always hold the baby close to your chest like this, right? So one hand here, the other hand on the bottoms, and that's it. So the baby's got a good, nice support, and the baby can be supported like that, right? So, and if you are holding on the other side the same way, the right hand forms a bracket, and the left hand and the bottoms, and you can hold the baby close to you, right? But all the time we cannot keep holding the baby with one hand, especially when we have to be breastfeeding. So we should be able to change the baby from one hand to the other. This is a good skill which we need to practice a little. So let me show you. See, for example, I'm holding the baby like this, right? So from the cradle, probably you picked up the baby like that. So when you pick up also, never pick up like this. Always put one hand here, so that you can take the baby close to you, right? So you are holding the baby like that. Now we want to switch sides. So let us see how we need to be switching sides. So if I want to feed on my left breast, this side, then what I need to do, take the baby and simply turn, right? So I should not change anything. I should not take the hand from the head. So keep the baby here and use the arm, the elbow, to hold the baby like that. This hand continues to remain. So I have released this. The hand which was at the bottom has been released. Then you put the baby at the crook of your elbow, and then you can hold, right? So this is the way to hold the baby. So, and if you see, when I'm holding the baby, you don't see the baby's face, right? So the baby should be belly on belly, right? So the same way, if I have to turn to the other side, I have to again put the hand at the back of the head. This hand goes to the bottom, and turn the baby all over, right? And again bring here. This is where most mothers will make the mistake, sometimes daddies also. Now I am not mentioning only the mothers. They will take this hand and try to put it here. No. So we cannot leave this hand. This hand continues to be here. So you can slide this hand and bring this hand here, right? And then you put your baby on the crook of your elbow, and then you are supporting the baby like that. right? So now you are able to hold the baby with one hand so that the other hand is available to hold the breast, right? So this is a very important thing for us to learn. So you can practice this when your baby is sleeping. So first 1 week you will hold the baby a lot. So even when the baby is sleeping, instead of spending time on the mobile phone talking or chatting, just pick up the baby, see how you can hold the baby, right? And then you can hold the baby, turn, change side, and again keep holding, hold the back of the head, then you switch sides, right? So this is an important thing for us to learn, how we can hold the baby comfortably, right? So once you have finished feeding the baby, you will also need to know how to burp the baby. Again, the same hold, hand at the back of the head, and pick up the baby like that. So this hold is a firm hold. If you keep this, the baby will slide down. So remember to keep this hold, and then you can put the baby on the shoulders. So when you keep the baby on the shoulder, you should not keep the baby here, right? So the baby should be, you can see the face of the baby should be over your shoulders this way, right? So this way the baby will feel comfortable. And then see how I can hold the baby with just one hand also. You put your arm across and that's it. So you can hold the baby comfortably with one hand. The other hand will be free to pick up things. If you want to pick up a blanket, want to put it over the baby, it is all available. So you can hold the baby with one hand. Then if you want to bring the baby back, or if you want to put the baby back on the crib, what you need to do is you will lean forwards a little, and then you can receive the baby in your arms. And then again, if you want, you can hold the baby like this also, one hand, right? So this is a good hold. So the baby is tucked under your arm, and you can use one hand to hold the baby, right? So this is the way you use the football hold when you want to feed the baby. If you have had a C-section, this is the hold mothers can use. This is called a football hold, right? So okay, so now you can pick up the baby, and if you want to put the baby on this shoulder, you can put the baby on this shoulder. If you want to change hand, you have to change hand like this, right? So this is a good and safe way to hold the baby, right? So if you don't want to hold the baby in this position, you want to just burp the baby, you're not comfortable putting the baby on the shoulders, then another better way to help the baby to burp is to just hold the baby here, keep the baby vertical, keep the baby close to your chest, and if you are leaning back, you can simply rest there with the baby there, right? So the baby is on the side, on your chest. So you get the opportunity to touch the baby, feel the baby, smell the baby, kiss the baby's head. So we saw yesterday also that the skin to skin contact is very essential for prolactin and oxytocin release. So we promote that. So nothing better than the mother herself holding her baby, because this skin to skin contact is going to promote breastfeeding. So it is obviously a very, very, very important skill. And we see mostly it is the mummy's mummy who will say, I will take the baby, now you rest. So let the mother learn how to hold her baby, how to pick up her baby, how she can hold the baby close to her body. So that is the time you are going to get confident about breastfeeding. Right. So the moment your baby is ready to feed, you should be able to pick up the baby, put the baby, and get ready for feeding. So this will come just with practice. A very good skill, but you can perfect it within 1 week's time. The only requirement is you just need to start holding your baby. So it makes no sense practicing with a doll. Doll is not equal to the baby. So the moment your baby arrives and you are ready to sit up, start holding the baby often. Practice holding the baby. You can switch sides and then see how comfortable you can be. And I'm sure it is just going to happen within 2 days. Maximum you will require 1 week, not more than that at all. So you can comfortably be comfortable, doing, holding the baby like this. Okay. So now that we discussed about how to hold the baby and also to how to birth the baby, I also want to tell you about the swaddling, right? So we all know swaddling, so you may be wondering what is there different that I'm going to tell you. Okay, see here I don't have a swaddling cloth. I'm going to use a dupatta to show you. So sorry for. So first let me show you what is the traditional swaddling which are used by Maleshwari Bais. In some families, swaddling is practiced more and some it is practiced less, right? So usually how they swaddle the baby is there is a piece of square cloth. So the baby, is tied firmly like this. Usually they put the baby's legs straight. They straighten the legs and then they make it straight again. They put the hand, tuck the hand inside, right? So the legs are straight like that. Okay. And this portion, they move it around. I'm not so good at it. Okay. So this comes here, right? And this comes here, and a tight knot is made here, right? This way. Huh? So this is the way traditional swaddling is done. See, I'm not very perfect in this, so sorry for that. So the legs are straightened. The baby is wrapped like that, long, and they make the knot on the leg, keeping the knees straight. Okay. So this method is not good because this method of swaddling will give rise to developmental hip issues because we know that the hip joints are growing. Young babies, their hips are not yet fully developed. So what actually the babies need to do is they need to kick their legs. They will bend their legs, they kick their legs out. So most babies will like to keep their legs bent, and we are forcefully keeping it straight. So when we keep it straight, we don't allow the hip to bend and move outwards. The hip joint sockets are not developing deep, and the direction in which the ball and the socket develop is not proper, so which gives rise later on to a lot of problems in posture, walking, everything. So this the one which I'm going to show you is the hip safe method of swaddling. So where it is safer for the hip. So it is not compulsory to swaddle the baby. So let me make it very clear. So for better breastfeeding, for better skin to skin contact, we always suggest you don't swaddle the baby, you unswaddle the baby, remove the cap, keep the baby only on diaper or on a simple uh, jabla and langot, and then you can just hold the baby so that there will be better skin to skin contact. But many new mothers, especially first time mothers, they feel uncomfortable because baby is so fragile, moving so much. I need something which is supportive. So I'm going to show you how you can swaddle, but it has to be safe. It has to be safe for the hips. So what we are going to do is, again, we take the cloth, right? So we keep the baby there, right? But here, instead of keeping the legs straight, we allow the babies to bend the legs if the baby wants to, right? So I'm not going to forcefully straighten the legs. So tuck this gently here. See, this baby will not let the leg bend because of the fluffy thing inside the legs. So I assume that the baby wants to keep it here, right? So I let that be, and then take the other side of the cloth here. Okay, and see, now this baby has straightened the leg. So what I mean to say is we don't need to let the baby straighten. Okay, or if the baby is keeping the leg straight, no worries about that. You can simply leave it there, right? Or if you want to make a knot, so we have allowed the baby to bend the leg. So no worry about that. And over the somewhere over the belly or near the chest, you make a soft single knot. Okay, so we are not restricting the baby's leg movements. We let the baby move the leg. You just make a soft knot, so which is loose, so that the baby can move inside. Just sufficient so that you can handle the baby more easily, right? So we have given space for the baby to move the leg outwards. See, we are not restricting the baby from bending the leg. So this is a hip safe swaddling. So in case you want to swaddle the baby, you can swaddle the baby like this. So this makes it easier for many mothers to hold the baby and comfortably breastfeed. Okay, so swaddling also helps when the baby is very fussy and baby is very restless. You're not able to calm the baby down for feeding. You swaddle the baby a little, then the baby is comfortable and feeding well. Right? So this is the method for swaddling. Okay. So now we are going to see. So the first skill we have done. Now we are going to do the second skill, which is the hand expression. So how we are going to do the hand expression of milk. So hand expression is a very important skill. I'm going to show you with this as a breast car model, and I'm using a nipple shield to show it as a nipple. Okay, so I will keep it in this direction so that it will be easy for you to see, right? So when you want to do hand expression, why you want to do hand expression in the first place? When your breast feels a little full, or you feel some lumps are there, or you feel my baby is not feeding directly from the breast, so I can express the milk and give it to the baby. You may not have to do it on a daily basis. Once in a while, when there is a need, you should know how you can do hand expression. So before you do hand expression, we need to prepare the breast. So how do you prepare the breast? You need to gently massage the breast. So if this is the breast, you will gently massage the periphery. So like this, just 3 fingers. So you will massage all over the breast like this. Only 3 fingers. So there is no need to knead or squeeze or do anything. So it is just gently moving, right? This way. So you can do one outer circle, then one middle circle like that, and also one inner circle which is near the areola, right? It's a very gentle movement. Okay, and you may also want to hold the breast like that and gently move it like that. Okay, so this it is, they say it is like moving a bag of marbles. So no squeezing, please don't do that. So gently roll the breast. You can roll it like that. So this will gently mobilize the milk producing glands. Okay, so that they will be ready to release the milk. So for this may take around 2 minutes. Then you want to stroke the breast. Stroke from the outside and finish it on the tip of the nipple. The tip of the nipple is sensitive, and by stroking, it is like mimicking the baby touching the breast. So this will give you a surge of oxytocin. So it will help the baby, help the breast to release the milk. Once you do this, you will start expressing. So expression, how you have to do. So this is the nipple. So you have to go 2 fingers on either side. So 2 fingers. So this is where you put your forefinger. Again, 2 fingers, and this is where you will put your thumb. So your thumb and forefinger is what you use for expression like this. So 2 fingers away from the nipple, right? So this is the nipple away from the nipple. And the movement what you do is the very important one. So you have to place your entire finger on the breast like this, the thumb and the forefinger, and you do press behind, gently press together, leave. Okay? Back, press, leave. Back, press, leave. Back, press, leave. So this is the movement you have to do. So many mothers, they try to push, squeeze the breast and pull ahead. So we don't need to do that. You have to keep your fingers like that, press behind, press together and leave. Not to pinch the nipples. See this way. 1 second. Back, press and leave. Back, press and leave. Back, press and leave. So that leave is also important. So this allows the milk to come from the back of the breast to come ahead. So it can be removed. It may take around 30 seconds to 1 minute for you to see the milk. So initially what you may want to do is you will do like this fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So once the milk starts coming in, then you can do back, press, leave, back, press, leave, back, press, leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So this way it is going to mimic the way the milk flows, and you will be able to express, there will be a stream of milk which will come and you will be able to express a good volume of milk. Okay, so this hand expression is very important and this does not hurt. So what hurts is when you squeeze the breast in the front. It can damage the milk producing cells. It can cause a lot of pain, redness, swelling, etc. So the most important thing to know is you don't pinch the nipple. You keep it here and you have to press behind, press together and leave. Huh? So this is something which the mother has to do herself. So you are going to do it yourself because you know when it will hurt, when you have to stop. Right? If somebody else is going to do the hand expression for you, it can be very painful. Right? So this is a very good skill for new mothers to learn. Okay. So the next one is, so we forgot about the correct latch. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the correct latch. So we saw first how to hold the baby. Now then we saw about the hand expression. The third thing is the correct latch. So how you can check if the baby is latched correctly, right? So if this is the breast, right? So when the baby is feeding, when the baby is latching, the baby has to make a big open mouth and latch the breast like this. So then it, only then there will be proper transfer of milk, right? So when the latch is happening, see, depending on the size of the baby's mouth and the size of the areola. So if the areola is bigger, then the more of the down portion of the areola should be inside the baby's mouth like this. If the areola is small, the entire brown portion will be, disappeared into the baby's mouth, right? So when you have the baby, how it will look like. So if you are the mother and you are going to hold the breast, right? And then the baby is feeding. So if the breast is here and the baby's mouth is here. So when the latch is proper, you will see that the baby's chin is nicely pressing on the breast, right? So it will be nicely pressed onto the breast and the nose will be free. So the breast has to be very close to the baby, right? But the nose will be free. So when this happens, then the baby can breathe comfortably. Many people are scared of keeping the baby close to the breast. They think that baby cannot breathe. So what some people are told, you hold the breast like this and feed. Also this way nothing can enter the baby's mouth. The nipple cannot go inside the baby's mouth properly. You need to have a long nipple like a bottle, and baby doesn't feed. They cannot remove milk from the teat. The baby has to, grab a big portion of the breast to be able to suckle. So you're going to hold the baby like this and feed. So when the most of the breast has gone inside, the areola is inside the mouth, it looks like this. So the baby is actually digging into the breast. The chin will be buried deeply inside the mother's breast, and the nose will be free. So the head, how the head should be. So the same hold which I told you is very important. If you hold the baby like this, we end up pressing on the baby's nose. So you have to hold here so that you can direct the chin of the baby towards the breast. So then the baby will be in a correct position. The latch will be good. So when the latch is good, you see the chin, the cheeks all in contact with the mother's breast, and the nose is going to be free. Okay. And most of the areola is inside the baby's mouth, and you can even see the lips of the baby, you know, moving outwards. It will not be like this. It has to be rolled outwards. So flanging of the lips you will be able to see, right? And there won't be any kind of clicking noise. So there should not be any kind of clicking noise when the baby is suckling. And when the baby is feeding properly, you will see the big jaw movements also. So this is how you will be able to pick up if the baby is latched on correctly, right? So this is about the latch, how to look for the correct latch. And the last thing which we need to do is of how to feed the baby the expressed breast milk, right? So feeding the baby in the early days, sometimes babies may take a little while to latch on the breast and feed properly. So it is always suggested that you learn the hand expression also. So till the time the baby is latching correctly, learning it, or if the nipple is not long enough, or it needs to be stretched out a little. So till the time these things are happening, you can express your milk and feed the baby. Or if you have to give the baby formula milk because milk has not come in yet, then you should know how to feed the baby the formula milk, right? So there are few ways of using it. The one common thing which we know is to use the spoon. So you can use a spoon, or the other method is you can use this beak wala cup, the paladi which is called, or some people use the syringe, so you can feed with the syringe, or it can be from a medicine dropper also, or some babies will feed well from a small cup. Okay, so whatever the method you use, it is absolutely fine. Plus, there is one more method which is called the finger feeding, right? So we are going to see how we can do all of those, right? So the first thing is we want to keep the baby sort of vertical. The head should always be at a higher level. So it is not correct to put the baby down and then feed the baby. No. So we don't want to do this. We should not pour milk inside the baby's mouth. The baby should suckle and take the milk voluntarily so that the baby will swallow well, right? So first thing is we want to ensure the baby is awake. Don't feed a sleeping baby because the baby will not swallow well and there is a risk of milk going into the windpipe, right? So how you are going to hold the baby? You're going to hold the baby upright. So here I have a table. So I'm keeping the baby on the table, but I'm propping the baby up like this. So this is absolutely fine. So you have supported the baby, and the bottoms, instead of holding with the hand, I'm resting the bottoms on the table. So it is going to be comfortable. So if I'm going to use a spoon, what I need to do, so half full is what you need to take, and take the spoon near the baby's lower lip. So you gently put it at the lower lip and wait. Don't invert the spoon, just keep it there and let the baby start feeling the spoon and start making suckling movements. So once the baby suckles, you can slowly bring the milk to the level of the lips so that the baby can make these smacking movements and draw the milk and drink it. Okay, so this is a safe practice. Never to pour milk inside the baby's mouth, right? So this is the first thing to do. If you are going to use the paladi, so then also you have to keep the baby vertical and keep it here and allow on one corner. Usually it is put on one corner, but again we have to let the baby to suckle. Okay. So some babies may like it in the front. You have to ensure the edges are not sharp because it can hurt the baby. So some mothers are comfortable giving it paladi. Most mothers are comfortable using a spoon. It is usually the grandparents who may have used paladi earlier. They are the ones who are familiar with this, right? If you are going to use a syringe also, you have to do the same thing. Put the syringe at the base of the mouth and very slowly you can press it. The problem with the syringe is it is very difficult to finely maneuver. Huh? So you may push more of the milk. Okay. So we have to let the baby to suckle from the tip of the syringe and draw the milk. Right. So this may also be cumbersome. The usual comfortable way is the spoon. Some babies don't wait till you refill and bring the spoon close. So those babies can be fed from a cup. So you can take around 20 ml of milk in this. So even when you have to feed with the cup, it is a wide mouthed cup and you have to keep the baby vertical, keep the cup vertical and just keep the cup near the baby's lower lip. So this is the way you will keep. So the milk will just touch the baby's lip and the baby will make suckling movement. And when the baby is suckling, the baby has taken little, you can gently bring the cup down so that you can wait for the baby to swallow. Again, you can gently tilt the cup and then put it back. You will never do this because then the baby will not be able to manage the milk which is gone inside the mouth. So let the baby suckle and draw the milk from the cup. Okay. So this is a good practice, especially when the baby is sick or babies who want the milk flow to be fast, they will not be patient. So this method is going to be useful. And the last method is going to be how you can do finger feeding, right? So when you want to do finger feeding, you want to um, So when you want to do finger feeding, so you want to use your finger. So the baby suckles on the finger. So this gives a practice for the baby to suckle, right? So when you want the baby to practice suckling on the breast, but at the same time give the baby the formula milk or the expressed breast milk, you put one finger. So it can be a little finger or the index finger depending on the size of the finger. Always wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water, and the nails should be nicely cut, nicely filed because we don't want any germs, right? And you can either dip the finger in the formula milk and then give it. So this is one way. Another way is you put it in a syringe and then the baby suckles, and as the baby suckles you can give little, you can with a syringe you can put it on the finger so it flows through your finger and it reaches the baby. So this way the baby gets the milk by suckling on the finger. The advantage of this is it preserves the suckling pattern which may not be there either with spoon feeding or with cup feeding. With finger feeding, you are preserving the suckling. So baby is getting trained to suckle. So the baby knows how to suck on the breast. So anytime you want to, switch from the finger feeding to the breastfeeding, the transition is very smooth and much easier. Right? So these are the different ways in which you can feed expressed breast milk to your newborn baby. Okay, I think I have completed all the things which I wanted to. So if there are any questions, you can ask. Any questions you have? Any doubts?
Itu அந்த கவர் என்ற பிக்சர் உமாயோட கவர் பிக்சர் உமாயோட வேற கவர்.
Anybody has doubts? Anything you want to ask? What to do if you have too much milk? Wow, this is great. So if you have too much milk, that is lovely. So you will express the milk and you can save, right? So you can save it for future use. So you don't need to get worried if there is too much milk. So I think this question is by Yogita. Mouse is not working. So if it is in the if you feel that too much milk is the problem in the initial days, this will get adjusted as the demand supply is getting sort of adjusted. At that time, the supply will get adjusted. So Yogita has just delivered few days back, so you don't need to worry because the breast does not know how much milk to be produced, so it will make little more. So if you can, if possible, you can wake up the baby also and feed the baby, or if the baby is too full, it's okay. So it may get adjusted. Or if it is too uncomfortable, it gets very stiff, your breast is getting stiff, you can remove the extra milk and it can be kept in the freezer. So you can freeze it. Every time the milk which you collect from both the breasts should be kept in a separate container. You can label it and put it in the freezer. You can use stainless steel containers for that. You can avoid plastic because some of the nutrients get stuck to the plastic, so it will not be then available. So stainless steel is better. So the chutney wala dabbas, you can use it sterilized and put it in the deep freezer. You can use it for 3 months also, no problems. What to do when the breast is full? So we don't want the breast to get too full, Shilpi. If you feed the baby frequently, because ultimately why the milk is there for, it is for the baby. And breast milk is very easy to digest. So unlike formula milk, you don't need to think that 2 hours you have to wait, after that only you have to feed. So breast milk is so easy to absorb. So if you have fed the baby right now, the baby is very full, but you feel my breast is also full. After 45 minutes, you can again, make an attempt to put the baby on the breast. You will never know. The baby will eagerly feed on the breast. So most frequently the baby is feeding, the breast will not remain full. So don't follow a scheduled feeding pattern. Instead, when you feel full, you can feed. When the baby wants, you can feed. So this way the breast will remain soft. Whenever I feed in the mornings, as nighttime, the baby feeds less. The baby coughs once it starts feeding. Okay. Okay. So baby coughing is because sometimes the milk flow is very rapid, right? So if I don't know how old your baby is, if your baby is very young, like less than a month old. So if your baby is less than a month old, the suck, swallow, breathe, 4.5 months. So 4.5 months baby is a big baby. So suck, swallow, breathe coordination is very well developed. So maybe the milk flow may be little fast, or the baby did not anticipate. So usually 4.5 month old babies will not have any difficulty, should not have any cough. But you can check for some mothers the flow may be very fast that the baby may cough at that time. So that is the time you can use this scissor hold, which will slow down or it will pace the milk, this hold. So if the flow is very fast, you may like to hold the breast like this for a while so that the milk flow will slow down a little. After a few seconds, you can remove so that the baby will not cough. And due to shallow latch, I was pretty badly injured. To continue feeding using my breast, I used a nipple sheet. It's been only 10 days, but she rejects my breast without the sheet. What do I do? Okay. So, Manvir, I don't know how old your baby is. Is it 10 days old baby? Is your baby is 10 days old? 50 days. Okay. So, 50 days may baby must have got used to the nipple shield. So it is likely that the baby may like the teeth. The nipple shield obviously has a formed teeth, right? So if you had a slightly shorter length in your nipple, so the baby has to work a little hard to pull it out, right? So baby has got little used to it, but there is nothing to get worried. So how we can work on it is, so initially you start with the nipple shield. You first start the feed with the nipple shield. So when the baby is suckling, the nipple gets drawn into the nipple shield, so the nipple gets well formed. So once halfway through feeding, when the breast has softened, you know, after 15 minutes of feeding, usually the breast is much softer. The areola and the nipple are more soft and pliable, right? And the baby is also not frantic. The baby is like in a mode to sleep, is just easing off, wants to suckle and sleep. So at that time, you gently remove the nipple shield, and now the teat is also well formed. You can offer the breast directly. So this way, the baby may be able to take the nipple directly, right? Because the silicon nipple shield, this is the advantage of the silicon nipple shield, that it molds to the skin, that most of the babies will not be able to figure it out whether it is the breast or the shield, right? So this should be happening. So I don't think this should be a problem. If you still have problems, you let me know. I will help you to sort this out. You use shield for only 10 days now, 1 week. So it should not be a problem. So you can try this way. Start with the shield and then remove the shield and let the baby continue the feeding. So this may be a better way. And once the baby is getting used to it, then you don't need to use the shield at all. Maximum how many minutes the baby should take feed? Mine doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Okay. So Shilpi is already having problem with extra milk. Yes. Okay. So we have to encourage baby to continue to feed, right? So sometimes baby may sleep in the breast, which is very very normal, because breastfeeding will release the cholecystokinin, which is the enzyme which makes the baby to feel sleepy. So if the baby falls asleep, there are few methods which you can do. One is you unswaddle the baby and feed, and you can stroke the baby as you are feeding. The other method is, when the baby is feeding, the baby is sleeping, you don't need to even wake up the baby. You can gently do the breast squeeze. You can gently do compressions, which will continue to allow the milk to flow out, so that the baby will continue to suckle, right? So this way, even though the baby feels a little sleepy, you can continue to give the baby the milk, so that you can empty the breast. Every feed, the idea is we want to empty the breast as much as is possible. Can I keep baby bare bodied in winters? See, it depends on the climate. See, outside climate as well as the climate inside the room, right? So I'm not saying you have to keep the baby bare bodied. When you are breastfeeding, you can keep the baby bare with just the diaper. Because when you're holding the baby skin to skin, breastfeeding is the time your body will have a lot of warmth. So oxytocin, when it is released, it will make your body very warm. So many breastfeeding mothers, they feel very warm. They sweat a lot when they are feeding. So this warmth, the baby will also get. So your baby will be kept warm when in baby is in contact with you. But if you are going to keep the baby on the crib, on the cradle, on the cot, you have to clothe the baby properly according to the temperature outside. Because young babies till 1 month of age, they are very vulnerable to outside temperature, because they don't have sufficient fat pad, they don't sweat. So it is very important to clothe the baby according to the outside temperature. It is what we are talking only about feeding time, that we can keep the baby bare, with minimal clothing so that there can be maximum skin to skin contact. I need to consult you regarding latch. Where are you available? You can simply contact me. I will give you my number. This laptop not doesn't who is not coming here. So I will just tell you the number 9324 677 So this is my number. You can get in touch with me. We can do an online consultation because now it is not safe. So you have the number, great. So you can get in touch with me. We can discuss online. I usually ask you to maybe come on WhatsApp video call if it is required so that it can be sorted out. Many a times these are all simple things. When these are getting corrected, your breastfeeding journey goes ekdam comfortable and really nice. So you don't need to get worried. So these small things, if you just sort it out, then everything should be fine. Mm, anything else which is remaining? I hope I clarified all your doubts. Any other questions? You can just let me know. We'll just hang on for 5 more minutes so that if you have any questions, I will answer them and then we can wrap up. My baby is having lip tie. Okay, so latching is compromised. Yes. So if there is a lip tie or a tongue tie, then latching will be little difficult. So what we need to look at is do a deep latch, right? So with the lip tied, then the baby's lip will not flange out. If the tongue is tied, then the baby cannot draw the tongue out to grab the breast nicely. But that does not matter because once the baby has learned to do a deep latch is where the baby is really close to the breast so that the baby can suckle comfortably. So even with lip tie, with tongue tie, it is possible to have a good, comfortable breastfeeding. So only thing is every time you are latching the baby, ensure that you get a deep latch. Deep latch means you will not put your finger here. So you will hold the breast here at the base and you will allow a good portion of the breast to go inside the baby's mouth. So for that purpose, you may like to use different positions which may be suitable. For some mothers, the cradle or the cross cradle or the laid back position may be comfortable. Sometimes you just want to be over the baby, so the mother can be just over the baby like this. The baby is here, so you can sort of come on your elbows or you can be on your knees. Allow a big portion of the mouth to go inside the baby's mouth. So you can try with different positions because it all depends on the size of the breast, the size of the nipple, sometimes the flexibility of the nipple. All these things will also matter how which position will be suitable for each mother and baby. So you need to figure out, find out all the positions. So experiment with different positions for breastfeeding. Don't stick to the same position, same bed, same. No. So keep on exploring different ways. So it will be more comfortable for you. I'm trying deep latch, but every time I get blisters on nipple, it becomes lipstick shape and painful. Yeah. So it means when the latch is not proper, you get that lipstick shape in the nipples. So then it becomes a problem. So, then either you can get the release done so that, the baby can, if there is a associated tongue tie also or only the lip tie, so you can see whether release can be done. So that may help So usually either a dentist or a ENT may do the release. But at this time, I don't know how comfortable you would be to get it done, but it is still possible. The other possibility is you can use a nipple shield and you can then express some milk and supplement. So you can try both these ways. Okay, so now you're pumping and then feeding, right? See, if you are all the time doing pumping and feeding with the bottle, the way the baby will learn the suckle will be different, because what the baby will do at the bottle is little different from how the baby will uh, suckle at the breast. So, if you can, instead of using a bottle, you may use a cup feeding so that it will be faster, so that the baby will not get confused between how to feed from the nipple, from the breast and from the bottle. So that you can probably try. How old is your baby, Yugandhara? 3 months. Okay, okay, okay. So at 3 months, yes. So babies got used to the bottle also. So that is also fine. It's okay. But you can, when you want the baby to suckle on the breast, you can. Is your baby having tongue tie as well, or only the lip tie? Because babies will somehow manage. So if there is associated tongue tie also, no, it may become harder. So only lip tie. Okay. So we can discuss on that. It is very easy to look for the tongue tie. You will see that the baby is not able to protrude the tongue out. If the baby has a tongue tie and the baby is crying, you may see that the tongue has a heart shape. Here it will be like this, and the baby's tongue does not come beyond the lips. So then we say then there is a tongue tie also. If there is both lip tie and the tongue tie, it may be a little harder. So then if you are continuing with expressing and feeding, that is good enough. And you can have lot of skin to skin contact with the baby. So this will be a good stimulus for you to continue to have good supply of milk, and that should be good. Any other question anyone has? The tongue tie is quite easy to pick up. It is not at all difficult. So the under the tongue there is a membrane, so which prevents the tongue from reaching the roof of the mouth or from protruding the tongue beyond the lip. So if you observe the baby, because your baby is 3 months old, it is very easy for you to look. Baby usually at this age will have good these kind of movements. So if the lip movement is not, coming beyond the lips, the tongue movement, sorry, the tongue movement is not coming beyond the lips, and you see heart shaped, it is like here instead of a pointed tongue, you see it is coming like a heart shape. You can see that when the baby is crying also. So then you will be able to figure out. Or you can ask your pediatrician so that she will be able to help you with that. Yeah, you can definitely send videos. I can see that. And it is not that if there is a tongue tie, the baby cannot feed well. There are so many babies who have this anterior tongue tie, and they feed quite well also. So it is the the nipple shape, the mother's experience. If it is a first time mother, the nipples may be a little tight, it may be a little harder. Second time mothers may find it easy. Or if the nipple is long, then those mothers don't face any difficulty at all. Or if the baby is able to latch deeply, then there also no problem. So we have to just figure it out. So just figure it out and it should be possible. Your second baby. So your nipple should obviously be good. So it should not be a problem if you've already breastfed your first baby. So with the tongue tie, little changes in the way you latch, I think that may make things little better. Maybe you can ask your pediatrician also. Sometimes the roof of the mouth may also be narrow. So these are all some of the structural changes which are there in babies. So nothing. See, these are not harmful, but like how we are all different. Different size and shapes of the nose and mouth, like that. The arch, the palate may be narrow and deep. So then also it may cause the nipple to get pressed there. It can give pain. So we won't be able to do anything about it because these are all structural things. You cannot change those things. Like what you're doing right now, expressing and feeding, it's a beautiful way. See, you're having enough milk that you're able to express and feed the baby. So just enjoy it. So don't take tension. So that is what I would say. So, if it is getting painful that the nipples are getting sore and developing blisters when everything else is fine, so these could be some structural changes in the baby which we may not be able to fully change, right? So just go with the flow. See, you've already managed 3 months, another 3 more months will go. Will not be a problem. Good, cool. You're making plenty of milk. So what more you want? So this is the average. Usually mothers make around 500 to 800 ml. So you're in the upper level. So luckily you have a good supply of milk. So you should be thankful that you are able to give sufficient volume of your breast milk, right? So uh, the comfort which you feel by letting the baby suckle on the breast, you may be missing out on that. So you can compensate that with a lot of skin to skin contact and cuddling and those kind of things. So, no, then it is absolutely good. So that is fine. Any other question anyone has? Or should we wrap up? Just past 6 o'clock. Okay. Thank you. It is really nice that I could interact with all of you. Thanks, Yugandhara. So it is nice that we could discuss about some of the important skills which are required for new mothers. So in my little way, I thought I could create some awareness about breastfeeding. So you can also share it with your friends or whomever you think they will require this, so that more and more people should be able to feel comfortable breastfeeding. So little problems which could be there, you should be able to just clear them off and move ahead with our journey of breastfeeding. Okay. Have a nice evening, all of you. All the best. Thank you. Bye bye.